All right, let's do just a few more stats here just to give you an updated look, some more information about the teams remaining. I thought this was interesting. Great visual here. 3-point attempt rate versus 3-point percentage. Now, at the bottom is who shoots the most threes. You see Illinois, 47%. They pop those things like crazy. Tennessee shoots the the second most of this group. They shoot the second most. So to the right is the most. In terms of shooting it well, that's top to bottom. So you and Illinois have something in common. You fire a lot of threes and you're not great hitting them. Now, that doesn't mean you're horrible, but still, Houston, they don't pop a lot of them, but they make the ones they shoot. So I thought that was interesting that Tennessee, we've talked about that all year long. And it fell into this trap we'll talk about with Kentucky in just a second. Do they fall into that trap where they just go three crazy and they can't hit anything? Let's move on to the next one, scoring streaks and droughts. All right, this is 10-0 runs. In terms of teams going on 10-0 runs, Tennessee did it, that's on the left. Tennessee did it 19 times this year. That would be dead last in terms of these 5 teams. Now, they did it last night to UCLA, so that number would be 20 now, but they didn't have a lot of 10-0 runs. They were best in terms of 10-0 droughts. Because their defense is so good, even when they go on a scoring drought, they don't usually get run out by 10 points or more. Whereas you see Illinois has a lot of those droughts where somebody comes back from a 10-0 or makes a 10-0 run on them. So interesting. Houston, in terms of putting a 10-0 run on somebody, again, that's interesting because Houston has the great defense. Tennessee has the great defense, but Houston turns that into a lot of 10-0 runs, whereas Tennessee, not so much. All right, let's move to the next one. This is just something that could come back on Tennessee in terms of personal fouls, but when you see Tennessee going to the line getting a lot of points, personal fouls drawn per 100 possessions, don't ever complain that the refs aren't taking care of you because you're the best of these 5 teams. You've been really good at getting fouls drawn all year long. So that is a help to Tennessee. Let's flip it and look at personal fouls called where you worry about Tennessee getting into foul trouble. They're middle of the pack. In terms of personal fouls called, Houston gets a lot. So if you're looking for something to key in if Tennessee plays Houston next year or next week, that's what you may want to look at is, okay, well, Houston has a tendency to foul. You get a lot of personal foul calls drawn. All right, maybe that's a positive for you. Okay, let's talk about Tennessee and Illinois. They played in December. Tennessee won by 2 up there, but Illinois led them at 1 point by 7. They had another lead at 8, and they had another lead at 1 point by 10. So 3 different times they had pretty sizable leads on Tennessee. Tennessee came back and won by 2. In terms of Kentucky, they beat the Vols twice, as you know. The amazing thing, they shot 12 of 24 from 3 in the first game. They shot 12 of 24 from 3 in the second game. So in 2 games against Tennessee, they were 24 of 48 from 3, 50%. Meanwhile, wow. And this is what I was just talking about. Meanwhile, Tennessee went 3 crazy. 14 of 63. Oh. 63 threes they fired up against Kentucky. 14 of 63. So beyond the arc, Kentucky was 50%. You were 22% in those 2 games. So my question, you were about to say it.
I almost. I apologize.
Who would you rather have, Kentucky or Illinois?
Well, you know what they say. It's difficult to shoot 12 of 24 from 3 against a good team 3 straight times.
Yeah. It's an old adage.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah. And, of course, Tennessee played at Rupp. They played at Illinois, and that's a game where you dealt with foul issues and things like that. I think I would rather take on Illinois. I would have full confidence in Tennessee's coaching staff to have a plan ready to go against Kentucky on Friday. I think Tennessee would be favored against either team, but I would rather take my chances against Illinois with almost a week to get ready, having beaten them at their place in a really hostile game that they played.
Okay, got to be a little quick here. Who you taking, Illinois? Who'd you rather play?
Well, I think you would have a better chance of beating Illinois. Let's put it that way. Okay. I think hard to beat somebody 3 times in the same season. Yeah, it is, but it happens. And Kentucky, obviously, what they do. I don't know if their freshman guard is going to go off, but it's clearly to me Illinois.
Yeah, it's Illinois by a country mile. Right. Kentucky goes at too much tempo, and if they hit threes, Tennessee tries to match. I have 2 games that show me that.
You play their style. You fall into what they want to do.
Especially if you fall behind, and that's human nature.
Yep.
And you're in Indianapolis, so you'll have plenty of people that come down from Chicago, but I know how Big Blue Nation travels.
Right.
I'd just as soon not see that arena filled with Kentucky Blue, too, if
also,
I'm Tennessee.
they have better players than Tennessee does, like from a roster standpoint, or at least equivalent. Illinois does not, especially with the injuries they're dealing with right now.
Well, Kentucky wanted Chaz Lanier and didn't get him.
That's right.
All right. When we come back, Will we be getting you ready for an Elite Eight game next Sunday? In other words, will Tennessee win their Sweet 16 game against Kentucky or Illinois? And how far are they going? Will's already given us his take. We'll see what the other guys say. Come on back.